All right, welcome everybody to another exciting breaking news. And we got Bigfoot and known as Connor, on with us today to make some comments about some videos. Before we start, the man you guys all know, the Squatching Cowboy. Let me share a screen of his channel to promote because he sent me something. It's, even though I'm not that huge of a deal, but
of
that's that's the wrong one. He's actually doing a show today at, let me see here. Let me go to his channel. He's actually doing a show. It says here in 57 minutes. So in 1 hour, he's doing a show on his channel. And I'm going to put a link in the chat as a thank you for sending me something. And I got a square in front. Let me get that square off so you guys can see what it's called. My bad. It's called Wild Woman, Navidad, Texas. So Texas woman, Texas Bigfoot or something, I guess. The Wild Woman. So that sounds interesting. But what did he send me? I don't know. And I said I'm going to open up on air. And listen, when you get something from somebody sent to you, that's awesome. I mean, Connor sent me a postcard before. I had a person named Ocean Girl who sent me a postcard from Australia. When you get postcards and stuff, it's freaking awesome. Because it takes time to put a stamp on it, to go down there to the post office. It does take time. So what is it? Even I don't know what it is.
And it's tangible too. In this digital world, it's tangible. It brings you closer to the cowboy. And I love it, man. I'm really excited.
Oh, smack. Oh, it's the Squatching Cowboy.
Wow.
And since it's green, it's a green screen.
That's crazy. It blends in perfect. Hey, that's the newest design because look at this. I got my Squatching Cowboy shirt on too. And this is the old design. You have the awesome new Texas wood booger. Awesome new logo. That is sick. Squatching Cowboy got something special right there.
That's awesome. And seriously, I appreciate it. It takes time for someone to do that. And, it costs money for them to do that, to send something like that. I mean, time and effort, that's, how do you say thank you, something like that? It's so I'll say thank you by, he's having a show in an hour, Wild Woman, Texas. I put his link there. Check it out and say hi and say, hey, I saw your shirt you sent Gypsy Road. Let him know you sent it to me, let him know that. Because right now he's live on another channel. Let me see. Is he still? Yeah, he's still live. But okay, I don't have it up, so I won't show it. But now, before we start on breaking news, some people are asking me questions like, hey, Eric, you play a lot of videos. How do you do with copyrights and stuff like that? And I kind of explained it on another channel before this. And let me share you a screen. What you should do is, if you're going to play other videos, and if you're afraid your video gets taken down, because that's harsh. You work so hard on a video, and one little 30-second clip is what takes you down. I mean, Connor and I had that happen on Horror Talk where a whole video got taken down for whatever reason. But let me show you what I do. Let me get rid of this one here, and let me see. Let me hit share. This is what I do. You make a dummy account. Not a dummy account. You make another account that you don't care, that you're really not going to do shows on. Okay? So here we go. So you open up another account, and I have one here. It's called Bigfoot Paranormal UFO Clips. Don't do anything live. Don't do anything. And when I first put videos on here, I put in private because I'm not trying to show these videos. I want to see if there's a copyright. But let me see if I can make it bigger. Right here where it says restrictions. Okay? You guys see it. Restrictions. It'll say none, none, none. Now, what happens is scroll down here. I'll show you like one of them. Like, okay, right here. Here's a copyright claim in one of these videos. Okay? And what you do is you click see details. What kind of what is the copyright claim on it? And it'll tell you what it is, like if you could play it or you just can't collect the money and stuff. And it tells you the copyright owners, and it tells you what part, how long a part of a video on there. Let me make it bigger for you guys. What's claimed? 39 seconds to 129. Now, in my Mandela Effect video, I'm going to show you. They're showing 3 different Mandelas in there. One of them was actually copyrighted by Disney because they told me what time it is. I clipped that part out, reburnt it, and it passed through. So you could use this before you even put a video out. So, use the tools. Now, like I said, if you're going to plan to do live shows on this other channel, then you're taking a chance of getting that taken down. Just create a channel, that you're not going to do anything on it. And that's how you test videos before you play on yours. Now, it doesn't mean 2 weeks later, somebody in that video can say, you know what, I'm going to copyright my stuff. And then you can actually technically get hit later. But usually it's more of, if you got an ad, they collect the money. We're not big enough. I'm not big enough to make no money. So if they want the ad money, go for it. Like when I did the Bigfoot one on Ozzy Osbourne, they got all the ads. But, you're talking about, you need like over 10,000 views to really make a penny on a dollar with ads. So, but there are some claims that will give you a strike and take down your video. So this helps you to know which one and which one does it. Especially when I'm playing 6 videos on this channel, it only takes 30 seconds of one of them to take the whole thing down. So that's what I do. Hopefully that answers some questions and gives people ideas on how you could do it. You can always email me. I can explain it better, but that's how it is. But beyond that, guys, let's just jump right into the Bigfoot. All right. Now, this first video is from one of our subscribers who watches this channel, who actually has always been there. I mean, Danny Staton. And sometimes when I pick a personal video of somebody doing a walk along or whatever, sometimes it's not about if they have a finding. I like to listen to their conversation about this walk. What are they saying about it? Connor's really good at it. When he does his walks, he explains the folklore that's around that area. It's kind of very cool. So this ain't like, oh my God, he saw Bigfoot. No, it's none of that. I thought it was kind of cool. I shrunk it down to like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And so Danny, I don't know if you're in the chat. Let me see if he is. If he even, but he'll show up. He'll come.
He was here.
Oh, he was here. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, he's here.
Greetings, YouTube. Danny Staton here on the Danny Staton channel.
Oh, first of all, let me tell you what it's called. It's called Bigfoot, Bloody Shoes, and Dark Shape. That's the name of the video. So.
Look at this. Look at this real quick. See this mark right here? You see that mark right there where something's pressed down? I'm deep in the woods behind some abandoned stores in Pels, South Carolina. Earlier this morning, some people in a parking lot said they saw large, dark shapes in the woods. They told somebody called me, and here I am.
See, what I liked is the little things. Like Danny just said right there, that some people were talking about it, and they told somebody, and they called Danny. That's a network. That's why I'm showing these little things. These little things are important in the community. Somebody's telling you right out the bat, hey, they heard this over here. And what does Danny do? He goes over there. It's better to go there sooner when you hear something. So to do that, you have to build network and friends to do something like that. So that's what I'm talking about, the little things that matters on research. Find out who your friends are. Tell them people, hey, call me, let me know. And that's the best time to go out there.
And be open-minded enough to have a network and be comfortable to share facts.
Some large footprints on the Daily Dan blog on the beginning video for this. And then you'll see me find somebody's lost phone and some other items in the woods that make me suspicious of the situation. I was thinking maybe some large black guys or some homeless guys got some.
I love that homeless guys. Hey, you never know.
After hearing strange rustling in the bushes and finding it extremely large footprints. I'm stoked to be out here today. But I'm having a couple a
Found
little
the
bit more
footprint
cautious.
already.
I've never been right where I am right now, and it's really kind of spooky area if you know the truth about it. It's so thick down through here, anything could be hiding around the next bend. And unfortunately to say, Daddy Dan ain't armed today. I didn't bring a pistol or a gun. I didn't even bring a damn knife.
And wouldn't that be something, right? I'm not saying you should carry weapons with you. That's up to you. But it would be that one time you don't carry it and you hear more things. Now, here's the question. This is why I brought this up. Now, he's saying he hears more things and all that. Is it because they know he doesn't have a weapon? They sense that he's more, I'm not saying human, but human without weapons to hurt them. I'm just saying. I mean, I believe that Bigfoot can feel you.
And he's new to the area, too.
Yeah.
He's new to the area, so they'd be ultra curious. Squatch in South Florida just said yesterday that he thinks that's your best time, is your first time in a certain area, because they're going to want to interact and kind of test you. So they definitely got their eyes on Danny right there.
Yeah, they do. And he just mentioned something in the chat where he said he had, new video up now if you want to check it live. Well, Danny, I just gave you a moderator on your Daily Damn blog. So if you got that link, just pop it in the chat. It's easier for me to play it than trying to find it real quick. So here we go.
And I didn't bring a knife. I didn't bring a gun. And that would be the day I'm hearing shit in the bushes.
See, that's the day.
That would be the day I'm finding people's lost phones and other stuff, as you can see on other videos. And now,
interesting.
Shoes that appear to be covered with blood. Let me know in the comments below if you think that's dried shit on there is blood.
I slow motion it to see if you guys think, is there some blood on that shoe? He's saying it could be blood. It could be, any crap on it. I mean, if that is blood, doesn't matter Bigfoot or not. That's pretty major, dude, to find shoes. If you think there might be some blood on it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
100%. Even just finding shoes in the forest is very strange.
It is. So, man, that's awesome, and I just appreciate people doing their research. Like I said, I climbed it down. I'll put the whole link to the video in my description. It's like, I think total 5-7 minutes, but it's pretty awesome. I just love hearing people's conversations, talking about what they're doing, why they're doing it, why they're out there. I think, to me, that's intriguing. It might not be intriguing to some of you. I know some people just want the action. They just want the shot. I like how to get the shot. What are you doing? Why are you out there? To me, that's what's intriguing to me. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. This next one's interesting. Here, let me go to my history. I want to get the exact name. Taking British Columbia government to court over Bigfoot. So this guy took the government to court. Why is he taking the government to court on Bigfoot? And this is actually in British Columbia.
Taking some time for us here today. Can you tell us how this lawsuit came about?
Well, it's been over 12 years. I've been going to Fish and Wildlife and telling them, here's evidence, here's video footage. These are Sasquatch. Come out with me in the field and I will show you a Sasquatch. And for over a decade, they've been denying me that. And this is in Alberta, British Columbia, Montana, Washington, and California. Those states and provinces, Fish and Wildlife, will not come out with me and will not allow me to show them a Sasquatch. So now I'm suing them, starting in British Columbia, for dereliction of duty. This is a wildlife species. It's their job. They have to take responsibility for it. And I'm suing them for not. Just the same way you'd sue a police officer who's not enforcing the law when it's his job to do so. I don't want to hear excuses. It's their job. Enforce the law. media like yourself go around and do stories when police officers or fishery officers eyewitness a Sasquatch, and Fish and Wildlife doesn't show up, they don't do anything. The incident with the police officer in northern British Columbia, he didn't know what to do. He was there twice, scaring off a Sasquatch, and that's not his job. It's a wildlife issue. Where was Fish and Wildlife? And I'll tell you where. They were nowhere, doing nothing. That's what they do when it comes to Sasquatch.
And so you say you have evidence beyond reasonable doubt that Sasquatch exists. Can you tell us a bit about that evidence?
I have every piece of evidence. I have DNA, I have forensic evidence, I have eyewitness testimony from professors and engineers, doctors, PhDs, people that have absolutely unequivocally seen the species, DNA that is undeniable from multiple sources. I mean, if this was a murder trial, the person being charged with murder is going to jail for sure. Like, this is an ocean of evidence, and if this goes to trial, which is what they don't want, which is the difficulty to get it to go to trial, but if it goes to trial, I'll win. The problem is we need some sort of precedent case study to show the judge that this sort of lawsuit has gone to trial before, and that's what's really difficult. We're trying to compare ourselves to civil allegations and tobacco companies, and it's hard to make that connection so a judge can let this go to court, because he doesn't care how much evidence we have. He just needs to see a precedent, and that's what the difficulty is right now.
And so what is a successful outcome for you in this lawsuit?
When I win, I will have proven that Sasquatch is real, A, and therefore Fish and Wildlife are derelict in their duty, B, and the outcome will be I'm going to ask them to go on a 3-month ecological survey with me into the wilderness in British Columbia or Alberta or Montana, wherever it is, and I will show them everything they need to know about a Sasquatch to begin the appropriate biological study and acknowledgement of this species.
And Todd, do you know when this is coming back to court?
Well, the judge is going to render a decision, and we'll see what happens after that. But no matter, if he lets it go to trial, I'll win the trial. If he doesn't let it go to trial, we'll find a new way, or I'll go to Alberta, or actually California's next. The law there has been much more agreeable than it has here in Canada, and we'll go give California a try.
Well, Todd, it's quite a case, and one we will...
It's pretty interesting, because he must be putting his own money into having an attorney and stuff to try to take this group to court. He's trying to prove it. It's hard to know, should they go out with him? I mean, I think the only way that group will go out, if you could prove that, not that exists or not, is that they're a threat to some people. They're going to hurt somebody. I mean, I don't know what the fine line is where you got to say they should have to be there, because if you tell them, what if 100 people keep telling these forest rangers, there's Sasquatch out here, you need to come out here. They can't be everywhere at once, but it's interesting because, hiring a lawyer is probably not cheap.
Not at all. That's Todd Standing. He was just interviewed actually on Discover Sasquatch with Chris Reinhardt, and he is one of the most controversial characters in the Sasquatch community. A lot of people call him a hoaxer. A lot of people said he's been trained by the best and he has inside information. Some of his pictures are a little suspicious. Other ones are definitely footage of Sasquatch, scaling up hills. And yes, we're all repping our Squatchin' Cowboy gear right now. And I also see James Brose out of Outcast Paranormal. He just released the Skunk Ape Experiments documentary. It was revolutionary. Can't wait till it's public to the world. A lot more stuff planned. And he's also on the UFO kick, man. I definitely suggest you having him on the show, Gypsy.
Oh, damn straight. I'll put anybody who wants to come on. Oh, here we go. This is breaking news in a way, because Danny just uploaded a video, and it's only like 45 seconds, so I got time to squeeze it in. Let me see here. Let me bring it up. Bigfoot new video, February 2022, just in. So I was able to find it when I was playing that one clip. So let's check this video. What he's talking about. Let me make it bigger. Sounds up. Okay, here we go. Whoa.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it looks like it's out of Star Wars. I like this footage. I have this footage saved too.
What the fuck is that?
And I like see when I look at these, I look at the movement of the thing. You know, if it just stands there, then I'm, you know, no offense. First thing I'm thinking is, okay, it's somebody in a suit. But then I try to look at how he moved quickly. And if you look at the end, he does move pretty quickly. Here, watch him move. Actually, here, let me see if I can put it on slow motion. This is how I judge things, guys. Let me put it on 0.5. There we go. Let's see. See, I'm watching him. You can see him there. And I want to see him move. Maybe I put on too slow of a motion. But what? Hold on.
This one might be, the last one might just be a snap. Yeah, the last one I think it's just a snapshot.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Here we go.
What the fuck is that?
And then he moves. That's, you know, he moves his body, he moves it down, and then he goes. See, that's what I look for. I'm trying to look, you know, if a human's doing it, how would he squat down? So looking at that, I would say that's pretty good. I mean, I've, you know, I know you always want it longer, but, you know, you can't control the situation. You can't control, you know, how long a thing is going to be there. But it is interesting, you know, what was he doing there? Was he if it's Bigfoot, was he just seeing what they're doing? Was he curious? Or was it a younger Bigfoot, you know? Because I've heard some different channels that a younger Bigfoot is more curious versus an older one. You know, it's like a lot of deer. Before they become bucks, they don't know. They'll walk around. But when they get older, when they know people are hunting with those guns, they're harder to find, right? So
that one definitely looked older to me. It also reminds me of the Falling Waters Sasquatch because they said it was hooded. And there's been a lot of reports of them wearing old clothing. But that one definitely looks like it's kind of like has a planned hood for camouflage in the night. So that might be something a little stranger than, you know, the skunk ape or Sasquatch. But very, very interesting footage. I really like it. But there definitely is a possibility of it being a short film as well, and just a cool setup. But hopefully one day we get some answers for it. But again, you can count on Danny for spreading the word.
Hey, like I said, I could never give anything at 100% unless I was there and I'm shaking hands. You know, 51% above is more believing than 50% below. So that's one of the better videos that I've seen. But beyond that, guys, it's time to move on over to the paranormal. All right. What's paranormal video I'm going to show first? I got two of them. Which one am I showing first? Is this the town? Sometimes I forget. Okay, this is town. Did you guys know if you had the money, there was a haunted town in Arizona for sale? Apparently, somebody bought a haunted town for a little bit less than $1 million. If I knew there was a haunted town, I'm sure that I could have done a GoFundMe account. I'm sure I could have raised $1 million to buy a haunted town. But let's check out this little news footage of this haunted town.
You're out of luck. The small Arizona town is off the market.
All right, let me start from the beginning.
If you were hoping to buy Cleator, Arizona, you're out of luck. The small Arizona town is off the market after it sold for $956,000.
Cleator, Arizona, with a population of about 8, was selling for $1.25 million. The town consists of 40 acres of land, 20 buildings, the Cleator General Store, bar, and yacht club. Yacht club? Well, the handful of people who live in Cleator are all renters.
That's kind of cool. I mean, I wish they would go into more of a why is it haunted? You know, what's the story there? But hey, that's a start for somebody out there, right? there's a town in Arizona got sold. Apparently, it's a haunted town, and it costs a bit less than $1 million. Now, if I'm not filthy rich at all. Shit, I'm not even middle class. I'm not even good class. But I guess if I had a lot of money, I would buy a haunted town if I could. But what's considered a haunted town? Is it the land? Is it a building? But I think it's interesting, right? And I'm curious on who bought it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know this. That Zach guy from Ghost Adventures, he actually made a documentary too. He bought a town in Detroit, a haunted house, and he bought it. Of course, he made it into a documentary. So that investment, he gets all his money back. So the question is, Connor, if you were going to buy a house, they you have the money, you get to pick any house you want, and you found out there's two good houses, good houses, both built the same, but one is a known haunted house and one's not. What house would you choose? The haunted or the normal?
Well, I
house?
have cats. Yeah, I have cats, so I have no problem going into the haunted house and finding balance within. I've had some strange things happen in this trailer and over at my mom's house. Some people have died within those walls. But as long as you have that guardian angel with you, you can find the light in most circumstances. But buying a whole town, that would definitely be risky business, but I would be balls in with you. So that'd be really cool. And I see it on YouTube a lot. People buy mines that they don't even have mapped, and they just buy it for a little lump sum, and then they go explore it, and then they document it, and then that creates a world of fun and income as well. So I definitely recommend people to buy a town and then have me move in, and I'll be the tour guide as well. So hit me up.
I mean, God, just to have the money, say, hey, I'm going to buy a haunted town today. I mean, I'd love to have that conversation. I mean, hey, whatever you want to do with your money, it's your money. But I'm thinking it's somebody who has a lot of millions, because I don't see what you could build out there that's going to bring your money back. Well, I guess you could do cattle and all that. I mean, it is 40 acres of land, they said, or something, or whatever it is. But hey, this next one, guys, is pretty interesting. It's a news channel that was covering a story about mom says security camera shows son's ghost, because the woman had a son who died a few years ago, and they saw a ghost and they're thinking it was their son. So let's find out. Let's check it out.
All new at 5, spooky security camera footage.
Yeah, a Metro Atlanta mom says it actually shows her son's ghost. CBS 46's Yasmina Alston spoke with some paranormal investigators to see if it's real or if it's a hoax.
Here in Canton, Georgia, a group of paranormal investigators look into the supernatural. So it was only right that we asked them about what a mom says she saw in her security footage.
It's definitely unexplainable.
A Metro mom says her home security footage captured her son's ghost.
Definitely tell that in the photo there is a human figure.
On Facebook, Jennifer Hodge posted that she was watching TV with her daughter when an alert on her phone said, "Your entryway camera saw someone." Here's what it showed.
No one's around at the time, and something gets captured that we can't explain.
Hodge posted that the figure looks just like her son Robbie, who died in 2016. Hodge told media outlets her son died of an accidental drug overdose. Now, we showed the pictures to paranormal investigators Heather Thompson and Stephanie Forte with Paranormal Georgia Investigations. They agree with Hodge.
Okay, now I'm understanding what she's talking about, but it was definitely a human figure. I mean, there wasn't anything questionable as to, okay, maybe that's a curtain that's billowing, or maybe that's, an appliance. That's definitely a human figure.
The two are part of a group that investigate homes and businesses of those who think they're dealing with the paranormal. They tell me security footage can be helpful, but to confirm, an actual home visit would be necessary. Hodge posted she is happy to be able to know her son is always with them.
I'm glad that she's happy. I'm very glad that she's comforted and that this brings her joy, because I wish more people would have that type of reaction to paranormal activity.
In Canton, Yasmina Alston, CBS 46 News.
See, I kind of like that. It's kind of cool in a lot of ways, because first of all, it's just not they see a figure on a camera, because we can always get figures on a camera and kind of like mold it into a person. But to say your security camera says, hey, there's a person there, and then you look at it and there's a figure, that makes it a little bit more like, oh wow, it was strong enough energy for a camera to capture you. Now, if it's their son or not, I mean, I hope it is. I mean, that would be cool, you know, but you can't really say it is, but it would make sense because they said he passed away just recently. And, you know, he's still around the house. I mean, that kind of brings, like they're saying, a little security to you that they're still around, not harmful, not hurting you, not scratching you, but, you know, watching over you in a way.
100%. Energy is never created nor destroyed. It always exists. So I'm big on spirits always being around us. And once you take some potions and fast for a few days, you could see all the orbs and just portals that open up in the sky. So I hope that she could find solace in her son, you know, appearing and still watching over her. And that's a beautiful thing. A little creepy in a good way, you know. Knowing that the cameras are always picking up strange stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you're right. It is a little creepy because I'm always thinking, if there's ghosts around, you know, what if, you know, you're in the bedroom with your loved one and stuff? Do you really want the ghost staring at you? I mean, are you opening up an orgy party and say, come on in or something? I mean, just something to think about. All right, guys, we're going to move on over to UFOs. Now, this is not like a UFO footage type of video. This is a news channel talking about, like, if, you know, what's the government's involvement in these UFO reports and stuff. And sometimes I like to hear what the news world think of the involvement. What are they saying? Because it's like, we hear the flavor from us, all of us, but sometimes I like to hear, what are the news channels saying the flavor of what's the government involvement? So let's check it out.
The U.S. government has released an eagerly awaited report on unidentified flying objects. The federal government is unable to explain as many as 143 objects encountered by military aircraft in the last several decades. Despite speculation in social media, the report does not suggest aliens might be behind the sightings, but it does say that identifying the objects or phenomena may be beyond the existing means of the American military. That's not LNS, though, is it? It's not. DW reporter Aaron Tilton has been following this story for us.
Let's hear what this expert
Aaron,
does.
it's good to see you here on the set. You know, UFOs, or unidentified aerial phenomena, as the government refers to them, seem like fantastic or spectacular notions from a sci-fi movie. So why is the government taking them so seriously?
Well, because at the end of the day, it's their job. I mean, if there's something zipping around the airspace of a country, it's in the military's best interest to figure out what it is, because it's a question of security, both for their military planes and also for civilian aircraft as well. And, you know, it's not just the U.S. government that's actually looking into these reports. We do know that both the Chinese government and the Russian governments have similar programs, and they're looking into similar reports above their airspace as well. And, you know, reports like this have a long history. The United States first started looking into reports of UFOs actively as far back as 1952, if I'm not mistaken, with Project Blue Book. So at the end of the day, it's a question of security for them, at least from the military's perspective.
Why has this report generated such interest online?
Well, it is kind of like a perfect storm to generate clicks. I mean, if you think about it, when we hear UFOs, we're kind of conditioned to think that there's an extraterrestrial sitting inside. I mean, we have decades of science fiction that tells us that UFOs equals aliens, and unfortunately, that's just not the case. But what also makes this, I think, a little bit more interesting is that this isn't just some like yokel country bumpkin reporting that they were abducted or something like that. We're talking about highly trained military pilots flying some of the most sophisticated sensor packages that have ever existed, who are saying, look, we're seeing stuff up here that we have no explanation for. We don't know what it is. And just the fact that the observers are so credible makes it really interesting. And that's what's...
You know, I don't have to play it like the whole thing and all that. And of course, the military is always going to be involved, right? It's something in the air. I mean, that's if you're a government, you're going to call on your military, your National Guard to see what it is. And he's right. Most people do think of UFOs with aliens, but technically, just what it says, unidentified flying objects. And of course, the first thought of the military is not alien. They're thinking it's the Russians or Chinese going to attack us. I mean, the Russians have a program because they think it's the Americans having drones. I mean, shit, you don't know what's in the skies anymore with drones and all that. I mean, it's a crazy world. And Bob, my brother, Dr. Wu, was talking about how people can build some of this stuff in their own garage now. Planes and stuff. I'm not saying they're going to build round spaceships that can fly exactly up, but people can build flying objects now. It's a whole new world.
It's Rick and Morty up in the sky. But yeah, you're right. There is tons of UAPs and UFOs up there in the sky. There's also projections going on. So there's showcases of lights plus orbs plus what people can manifest and summon from the dome and all the deities in the sky. Foxfire, and then swamp gas, they call it. But all these chemicals that are mixing and matching up there. Plus all the magic as well. So yes, there's always stuff going in the sky, but we don't need the news or the military to confirm it because we've been on it for many years, and there's new footage every day pretty much on the underground circuits.
You're right. And guys, anytime you see a footage of the military talking about a flying object or something, you got to listen to how they're talking because you're trained a certain way to say a certain thing a certain way. So if they're like saying a little bit too much, that's fake. That's calling because the military, they're strict. They're trained. I mean, you have to be an officer to be a pilot. You just don't join the service to be a pilot. You have to be an officer. You gotta be top dog, like Maverick, Top Gun. You gotta be top dog to fly in jets, and they have protocol on what they say, and they're not gonna release to the public the true fact of information. They might put out some stuff where some other people might not say something to make it look like it's a joke. So you really got to pay attention to what you're listening, because anybody's been in the military tell you they got protocol. Because you say something wrong, you could lose a rank, or you could actually be thrown out. And when you're an officer in the military, they make pretty good money than an enlisted man. There's a difference between an enlisted man and an officer. The difference is money. They get a lot more benefits than you do. So they have more protocol to screw up their future than a regular enlisted man does. So just letting you guys know that.
And I just think the UFO disclosure with that is all very safe. 142 spaceships is a magnificent number, but it's still so out of reach. Imagine if they said that the military, the active, Army and Marines on American turf have had 142 encounters with unknown beasts. That would shake things up. I definitely want Fort Lewis, Washington, to start talking about the creatures that they found, and then like Flat Rock talked about all the footage of these creatures somehow getting past alarm systems and then being inside the tunnels. And then I want to hear about the Vietnam rock apes. I think that would be the easiest for them to come forward with, because soldiers killed them and brought them back to the barracks proud of it like it was an animal. So we can start leaking that, I think, but the Kandahar giant will be the tip of that spear. Man, again, it's all about opening the conversation up and awareness, because once there's so much community aware, they can't really deny it for so long.
That's true. Well, guys, we're going to move on over to Mandela, because I'm curious, what did the British people think of the Mandela? We know more or less what American news thinks, automatically, false memory, all that. But, they say the UK is a little bit more open-minded. So let's move on over to the Mandela and let's find out.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
Luke, I am your father.
All right. This is a channel in the UK called Jeremy Vine. He's on Channel 5 over there. So I'm not in the UK. I don't know what their Channel 5 is, but it's an actual news channel that's going to be talking about the Mandela effect. And I actually had to make sure I did a copyright check. And there was one section of it so I had to trim it out. So if you guys see a third one kind of chipped out, it's because I wasn't allowed to show it. So this is Jeremy Vine from the United Kingdom talking about the Mandela effect. Or is it false memory?
Person, right?
Right.
Yes.
What's coming?
The picture of the person, right?
Right.
Yes.
What's coming?
What's coming, she asked. Well, it's wrong. And he doesn't have a monocle.
What?
Yes, Dominique.
What does he have instead?
What does he have instead? I'll show you. No monocle at all. Now, this has blown us away because what we've got here is something called the Mandela effect.
I was thinking.
Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I've heard.
Where, for some reason, a falsehood goes into our brains and becomes true. So that monocle is not correct. Now, we think this has been analysed by people, and we think it comes from this character, Mr. Peanut, who has a monocle.
But I don't know Mr. Peanut.
Well, I love that girl.
There he is. Scuppered the argument.
You've never met him? That does slightly destroy our argument.
What I like about her expression was, if you're trying to say one is why you think of the other, Mr. Peanut looks totally different than the frickin' monocle guy. Peanut, yellow, monocle. I mean, two total different drawings. I think one lady said, I didn't even know there was a Mr. Peanut. Well, here we go.
I don't know Mr. Peanut. Anyway, he was an advertising mascot for an American snack company. But that's where we think that the monocle, it moved in our minds from Mr. Peanut.
Well, we associated the top hat then with a monocle, didn't we?
Yeah.
So that probably made our brains associate.
So this term, the Mandela effect, was coined in 2009 when people were convinced that Nelson Mandela had died in prison. Now, he actually died in 2013, 23 years after his release. But for some reason, I don't know if you...
I should have put the link. I did a show that Nelson Mandela never died twice. That's one story that I don't believe, and I believe most people use it. They weren't even born when he supposedly died. If you weren't even born, how can you even have a memory of Nelson Mandela? But that's a link. I should have put it in there, but I don't. But that's why I never liked the name Nelson Mandela, because I personally, for me, he never died twice.
Remember this, it went in, after he'd been president, when he'd retired, people began to believe he died in prison.
I can't remember that.
You can't remember that either.
I've read about it.
I'm so old now. Oh my God!
They weren't even born.
You don't have to remember things that aren't true, Yasmin. That's not part of the job. Did you have that thought that he died in prison?
No, but I've read about the Mandela effect.
Have you?
In regards to other things. Yeah, so that's why when you showed me that, I was thinking, oh, this is like that thing.
I think it was something very common in South Africa. It was just became something that didn't he die in prison?
Yeah, they say it's something to do with parallel universes, and that's why we maybe remember different things, because it might be things that happen in another universe. They say.
Let me show you another one here. Right now, this is Looney Tunes cartoon, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Bang on. That's what we remember. Yeah. Happy with that, Yasmin?
No.
Isn't it the duck?
Oh, go on.
Did he have a carrot?
Did he have a carrot? No. Okay, you're wrong here. It's Looney Tunes. Don't ask me.
Oh,
yes.
no.
We think it's Tunes.
I thought I had it with a carrot.
No, it's not.
I love that your whole world is changing today with these revelations.
British people are more
Yeah,
open-minded.
it's Tunes. Okay.
That is mind.
It is mind-blowing.
So has it never been Looney Tunes
It's
then?
never been Looney Tunes. We think it may be because Americans say tunes, not tunes, and that's why it's gone into our heads. Okay. I'll show you another one here.
Yeah.
The C-3PO, the character in Star Wars,
I
right?
had to skip
Made of gold costume.
Disney
yeah,
part.
that's it. That right? We got it right there.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Yes. Yes.
You're getting suspicious now, Yasmin. I can tell.
Probably silver.
No, it's not silver, but you're close, Yasmin. That's very astute. C-3PO had a silver leg.
Oh.
below the right knee. But our
never saw
brains have screened that out because of the Mandela effect. Let's have a look.
Oh, yes.
Guys, this was a copyrighted for
Malfunctioning little twerp.
Isn't that amazing?
I feel like you've doctored that image. That's a deep fake right there.
I love that.
All of this is
Deep
deep fake.
The silver shin. And our brains, our brains have just simply screened it out. Are you beginning to doubt everything, Yasmin?
Well, I do know one thing. That's what you think you absolutely remember. I went back to the house where I grew up in Uganda, and I thought I remembered it absolutely as I remembered it. It was absolutely different.
Really? In
Yeah.
what sense?
The balcony wasn't where I thought it was.
Amazing.
It was much flatter than I remember. It looked completely different in my head from what I saw.
So interesting. Yeah, I think you can almost misremember conversations and meetings and all sorts.
Yeah.
Have we blown your mind?
Yeah, I mean, because I loved Snow White, so
I'm really sorry.
yeah, it's kind of crushed my dreams.
The Snow White she was talking about is the magic mirror versus mirror mirror, but that was copyrighted, so I had to trim that part out. But I enjoyed with that conversation is the British were a little bit more open-minded than America is. You know, I mean, so it's kind of cool when that woman was talking about a personal experience. See, that's what I like to hear when people have this as a personal experience. I mean, she lived at a home for so long, and you go back and you kind of know what your home looks like, and she gets there, it's different. You know,
It was
how do you question that?
Yeah, I've had personal Mandela effects, and I've had ones with the mainstream too, with Berenstein and Berenstain now. But I think it's awesome just seeing people outside of the American culture. I don't know if they're more open-minded or it's just kind of disconnected from them, because Looney Tunes is us, and like how they said, there's a difference how you even pronounce Toons and Tunes to them, but of course not to us in American way. That's why us in this United States, I think, are just a bubble of an experiment to the rest of the world.
Or you could maybe this way, maybe like the American news channel say, hey, you gotta tilt yours to this. Maybe over there, they don't have to tilt it to a certain way, and they can actually like be honest with their feelings right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because in America news, they're so controlling on what the content's coming out.
Oh, for sure.
It has to be all approved and stuff. It's like, here's the script. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nope,
You've seen the videos that they have like 47 is the same video, like all different newscasters across America saying the same exact thing. So it's like it's a strict script. But yeah, it's really funny to see some of our life kind of leak into the mainstream world and have their minds just be blown. That was really cool. I can't wait till you share that on TikTok. And if it's ever longer than 3 minutes, you could do a part 2, of course, because dude, that was like, oh, I wanted more. That was hilarious.
I know. I like stuff like that. Hobbs says it was because Hobbs from the UK. Was Tunes for me also in the UK. So, it's cool. Now, don't get me wrong. There's not all of it's going to be 100% real, because like for me, I told people, I remember the slight silver leg, actually. I remember that slight because George Lucas liked to put some odd stuff in his robots. But it doesn't mean it's not all gold for people. I like to be more honest about it. But like the magic mirror versus mirror mirror, if you ask me today, I'm always going to tell you I remember mirror mirror. I don't know where magic mirror came from. There's, it's just fun. It's just fun. And it's easy to find residue to support it and residue for not to support it. That's why I'm not really huge on residue, because you can find anything to support your cause. You can find stuff to not support your cause. So that's why I take approach of let's just have fun with it.
Yep, and have an open mind and spread awareness.
Exactly.
And I see what Brad said. He said they also say there's a Statue of Liberty that was set on fire by Nazi infiltrators in World War II. Never happened in his timeline. And I've heard a lot of things like that. A lot of people say that Pearl Harbor never happened. The JFK assassination happened in other cities. Like, there's a lot of cool things once you dive deep into the Alice in Wonderland world of Mandela.
Actually, Brad, I can't. I don't know what one it is here. One of my here, let me find it. Brad, you might want to watch. I did a breaking news on the Nazi Germany one, and let me see if I can find it, and I'll put that link in there. It's on one of my breaking news about. It's called Black Tom. What he's talking about is the Black Tom incident, and that's the one that you said yourself, Connor, that you learned this story for the first time.
Yep.
God damn it! Is this the one? It's so. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. Here's the link. So, Brad, here's my breaking news. It's that incident you're talking about. It's called Black Tom, and this is the link to the breaking news that we actually talked about that incident. If you want to check that out, there it is. That's the one about Black Tom, about the explosion and how it did explode some of the Statue of Liberty, that which cost it $40-50 million to repair. I can't remember the exact cost, but there it is. But beyond that, guys, I hope you enjoy yourself. I know Connor's about to take off to do some trail walking. Where are you going?
I'm supposed to be going to Torreya State Park, but I'm going to message my mom and see if she wants to come along. She's going out of town tomorrow morning, so I'm really excited to be taking care of her animals, but I wanted to bring the motherly touch along to the skunk ape mecca, but I might be just going solo, so I'm going to bring my walkie-talkie so I can call into the sheriff's office if I need to, but definitely, keep me in your hearts, and I'm going to get a couple hours worth of footage, and then I'm also going to be on Squatch America tonight, so I'm really pumped about that. They're an awesome couple that RVs across America.
Do you have it on your channel yet, the link?
Yeah, it's on my community page.
I'm going to your channel right now.
Perfect.
Get that link. Let me see.
And that was on DA Roberts last night. That was definitely a fun time. Ran into a couple of technical difficulties with connection, but powered through it, and it was a cool 3-hour show. It felt like it was probably an hour and a half. Time really flies by when you're involved in crazy conversation. And DA is an awesome author. But yes, right there. It says it's in 26 days, but I think they just have the timer a little messed up. Of course, YouTube's a little janky. I'm not sure what time it is tonight, but I should be back, by then. But I'm really looking forward to it.
In 8 minutes, the Squatching Cowboy is having his. I'm trying to find his link real quick. Sometimes you're going down your list trying to find these names. Here it is. The Squatching Cowboy, his is coming up.
The Wild Woman of Navidad, Texas. And I feel like this is going to be a big banger for Squatching Cowboy. This one might be, 25K views, because this story is very interesting, and the female Sasquatch doesn't get talked about enough. Even though Patty is the most famous Sasquatch out there, it still gets lost in translation.
And that's up in 5 minutes. And Squatching Cowboy, thank you so much for sending me this. And if anybody else wants to send me anything, you can, and I'll open up right on air, because I appreciate every effort, even if it's a postcard. When I got Connor's postcard, I'm like, this is fucking cool. I mean, he took time out to send and write something on there, and the postcard is picture where he was at. It's kind of like, hey, this is where I'm at today. This is a postcard that represents that. So it's really cool. I'll be glad to have 25. Hey, you know what? I'm happy if just one person is watching, because to me, it's amazing that somebody's taking time out of their day. Even if it's just one person. I mean, that's fucking awesome. So anything else to me is a bonus. But beyond that, guys, I want to thank you guys. I want to get more coffee, get ready for the Squatching Cowboy show. So I'll see you guys all later.
Peace, y'all.